What's up, guys? It's Quicksilver here. I think today we're going to work on the sorting slash storage building a little more. I've made some progress since my last video with you guys. I did go ahead and kind of arch way off the back here and created some steps down so I can go down to a first level. I've got a chest that I've dropped in here, but I haven't really done much with it yet. Ultimately what I'm going to do with that is anything that I throw in here is going to get dumped into our sorting system. So that's what we're going to work on today, maybe along with some of the aesthetics here of the first level. So anyway, I'll show you what I've done down here so far. I've just got a little staircase, kind of a steep one, but I don't have a whole lot of room to work with here, and I didn't want to waste a bunch. And then we go down steeply here. This is the terraforming that I had begun in the first one. I actually tore out good chunk of this hill. Actually, I think it was probably out to about here at one point in time, but now we've completely torn it out. And then I've built a little fountain back here underneath the steps. Just kind of done some stuff with some steps and half slabs to add some interest. Added some wool back in there for some color. And then these little skinny windows, I'm not sure why. They're just I think they just look kind of cool. I don't think they're really going to show me too much. This side will let me look out into where the jungle slash extreme hills is. I'm probably gonna end up taking this tree out so I can see a little more out there for the view, but the real project is gonna be right where did it go? There it is. That chest right there is the chest that we were looking at up there. So what I'm gonna have to do is actually I'm gonna actually have to lower this down out here a little bit more, at least this stuff. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have some hoppers underneath this thing that are gonna run it back this way, and then when we get to right about here, I'm gonna feed them into a dropper, and then I'm gonna set put a timer mechanism back here that'll actually probably get built into this hillside a little bit, and I'll try and hide it so that we can have the front of our building looking pretty much like it does there, except we'll wall it in, glass it in, and make sure that no mobs can get in there, and then obviously throw down, continue that wood floor out. So I'm gonna go ahead and I guess get started there. I think the first thing I'm gonna need to do, and I'll probably build a lot of these materials, actually I think what I will do is build these materials off camera so that I will have the stuff that I need to start building. But I guess I'm gonna build a bunch of droppers. Will be that's not right. Alright, well, I will figure this out. I thought I knew the recipe for a dropper, but I am going crazy. So anyway, I will get this sorted out, build the materials that we need, and then once I have everything sorted, we'll go ahead and we'll get this started, and I'll show you the timing mechanism that we're going to do. It's actually going to be a little similar. It'll be powered similarly to how we're pulling power off of the hoppers when they have something in it, and how they power the comparators. We're going to do something similar, but instead we're going to feed that into a timer that's going to have a torch system right behind our droppers. So actually, yeah, I guess I can describe this a little bit. This little channel right here is where our hoppers are going to feed in, and right here I'm going to have a dropper that'll start, and I'll have a chain of droppers actually that's going to feed them up to right here, and then we will have a hopper that will feed over into here to get them into our chain, and then we'll work this chain around the rest of this stuff. So that is the oh, and then on the back side I'll just do a little vertical wiring with some redstone that'll be connected to that timer so that we can keep the hopper chain, or the dropper chain, feeding up so that our items don't die in the chain in the item elevator. So that's the plan, and I'm going to go ahead and get some of those materials built off screen, and yeah, then we'll start building the inner workings of this thing. Okay guys, so I have my hoppers built. I completely forgot the recipe there. It doesn't require hoppers. I don't know what I was thinking, but so alright, so what I've done, similar to what I did before when I was building this, if you missed my last episode, what I like to do, if I'm not sure how many of something I'm going to have to build, I will throw dirt in place of the item because it's easy to remove. So underneath that chest I've thrown down, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hoppers that I will need, and then I believe I'm going to need 5 droppers to bring that up. So I'm going to go ahead and roll up here, and pop back here, and then, man, love that noise but hate that noise. So there I can see my dirt, so that's where all my hoppers are going to feed in. So I'm going to throw my droppers right there. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4. Ah, man. I'm going to have to get above these things. Ooh, this could be interesting. I think I might have a little... Ow! Might have a redstone issue here. We'll see. If it just keeps feeding these guys up, I guess it's not a big deal. But if it short circuits them, then I might have something else to deal with here. So okay, let's see. This might be a bit of a bear to do. So there's that one. I need to get one more on top of that. Yeah, okay, good deal. So that should be it there. Now let's see if I can get my droppers and my hoppers in place. That one feeds into here. So anything that goes into that should feed into the sorting chain. Then I'm going to go back down below now, and we will knock out our knock out our dirt and get our hoppers in place. Yeah, this should work out quite nicely. The only thing I don't like about a project like this is because I had so much stuff already in place, I'm really going to have to I might have to reconfigure the way the front of this building looks a little bit. So that's a little bit of a bummer, but not the end of the world. So there's that, and one more. Okay, so now anything we throw in that chest should feed through here and end up in that hopper. So let's go ahead and just test that really fast. It's not going to actually item elevate or anything cool like that yet. But, man, we'll throw a little piece of redstone in. Yep, that disappears right away. That's a good sign. As long as it's in that bottommost dropper here, then I'll be a happy camper. Yep, excellent. So now we've just got to build our timing system that's going to pull off of these things. So I'm going to have to build some more building materials here. So I'm going to do that off camera. And then I will come back in and we will have... we'll start building the timer here. And that's not too bad. I was hoping to be able to hide what's under this chest a little better, because that's the only thing I like about chests, is they do leave these little weird kind of seams where you can see through in between them, like right there, to see the grass below. But I don't know. The other thing that I might do, and I'm not positive yet, I could pull this chest out of here and just throw a half slab in here. And the way that hoppers currently are, let's see if I actually, no, I don't have any extra ones. The way hoppers currently are is if you throw a half slab over top of a hopper, anything you throw in the half slab will actually get sucked down through the half slab, since it's not a complete block, into the hopper. So I might make use of that. If this really gets on my nerves, I could knock it out, and I don't know if I would have to have the half slab here on top or down one block. Either way, I don't think it would be too bad of a design element, but we'll see. I might monkey around with that. I also might be able to just throw a half slab. Actually, that's probably the easier solution, is throw a half slab and back here behind the chest so that I can't see through this back edge. And then, yeah, the rest of this stuff I should be able to hide once I get the other blocks in down below. So, alright, I'm going to go ahead and build the other materials that we need so that we can build the rest of that dropper item elevator, and I'll show you how we do that. Okay guys, so here we go. I'm back in here now, and I actually made a couple little changes here. I will show you, like I mentioned before, the bad thing about this design is I am having to modify the design of the front of this building a little bit, and I'm hoping it's not going to be too big of a problem. I had to actually I had to have somewhere to build the timer on, so I've got to go back 5 blocks, so I was right, part of this will be hidden inside the hill, but I did have to dig down an extra block here and create kind of this little platform thing so that I can build this on. So hopefully it won't be too big of a deal, but let's get this party started. So the first thing I'm going to do, this is the hopper that is going to receive the feed from the chest. So the first thing I've got to do is I need to drop a comparator coming out of that thing. So it is turned off right now, and obviously it's not receiving any, there's nothing in there, so it's not going to receive any signal. As soon as it gets something in there, it'll get a signal. So, and that's a good thing. But what we're going to do now is I'm actually going to, I've thrown this block down and thrown this torch on here. What the torch is going to do is it is actually going to lock what we're going to do next, and that is we are going to throw down a little hopper timer here. So These things are awesome. If you don't know how to make a hopper timer, you're about to learn, and they are really, really cool. If anytime you use timers, these will change the game for you because they're so much easier to build. So first thing we do is we throw down a block here, and we're going to put a timer on it so we can see the little nipple on that thing is facing into that block. Next thing we're going to do is bust that out. Actually, I don't need this back here, so I'm going to close that off just to keep any little friends from spawning back there. We're going to take another hopper. I'm going to hold down shift and I'm going to click there. So right now these two are facing into each other. So what will happen is anything we put in here will just get passed back and forth between these two hoppers forever. And as you know, we can pull a signal out of that. So every time the block gets passed into here, we can have a signal pulse out of it. But because we have that redstone torch there, we actually have the timer turned off, and that's how we're going to make this thing work the way that we want it to when we want it to. So because we're not going up very far, we're only going up I think 5 blocks, I think this will be a pretty decent timer. We don't need to connect this to anything more elaborate, but I guess we'll see as this thing is used. But so here's what we're going to do now. We're actually going to extend the signal out of that and into here. So now yeah, that's going to get old. That's the torch on the other side of this is causing this one to pulse every time I think that that we pass down iron blocks. So anyway, maybe I'll move those to different chests so we don't have to hear that quite as often, but we'll see. Anyway, so to get back to this, anytime an item gets dropped into here, it's going to pass a signal here through to these, which is going to let this tick back and forth, pass our signal through here, and cause our vertical wiring to cycle. So we don't have any vertical wiring here right now, so let's go ahead and throw some in here. I'm only going to use the nice stone block there for now, because ultimately I think all this is going to change, or it's all going to get covered up rather. So, oh man. Alright, let's hop down here. We'll go inside this thing. Oh nice, didn't take any damage. I thought I was gonna. We'll pop back inside over here, and I think we can finish our vertical wiring easier from this side. I was hoping to run the vertical wiring up on this side, but it's just not going to be possible with everything else there. Did that? Yeah, okay, get that placed there. And then I'll pop a block there, and so that, you know, that's about it, but I'm going to go ahead and put one more up here just for shits and giggles. Let's see if I can target that block and not the hopper next to it. Yeah, I think I got it. Yes, excellent. Okay, so I think that has it, if this guy will ever stop making noise and die. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to go ahead and program up one of these really fast. I'll probably change the blocks out of here eventually, but let's see. So if you saw my last tutorial, you know we need a total of 21 blocks in here to make it actually do something. I'm going to program this thing for cobblestone. So now if I throw cobblestone into the system, if this is working properly, and that other torch isn't a problem and the timing's not a problem, then it should throw cobblestone into our third chest here. So this one, if I dump some cobble in here, we should end up with it in there. I'll throw one in there and we'll just see if it makes it. I don't think that it will. Yeah, you know, you can hear that cycle, so let's just take a peek. And it didn't, so it's probably stuck in the system, which means I have a timing issue. So I might have to dink with a better timer back here than just the one pulse that we're getting. Let's see where these things are ending up. Ah, man, right there at the very top. Alright, so let's see then. If I throw more than one item in there, I think we'll probably get a bunch of them, but not all of them. Which, let's do 2 items and see if that's enough. I don't like hearing the ticking, but I guess I should at least check before I go running back there, right? Yeah, see, so we're still not getting anything. So I don't know that it's going to matter how many items we throw in there. I think I'm going to need a little bit more robust of a timer. Let's see. Where did that other one end up? I'll bet it's down that bottom or second hopper or something. Can I get to it? Nope, nope. Huh. So where did it end up? Yeah. could probably lower this by one hopper too. Maybe that would fix it. That might be worth looking at. Oh, you know what? I know where it is. It's in this hopper. No, it's not in that hopper. It would have two signals if it did. Okay, so anyway, guys, obviously I've got some issues I need to work out with this, including finding that mysterious piece of missing cobblestone. I will play around with that and let you know what works out the best here for us. And I may try and pop this hopper off of here and move this one down one so that we're feeding into this chain directly here. See if that makes enough of a difference to keep things moving. So we'll see. Okay, guys, so here we go. I am back here now. I popped out. I basically just moved this hopper down one and took out the dropper that we had in the top of the chain, and it appears that that fixed my timing issue. Maybe I'll do a tutorial or something on alternate timers for this thing, but so the way that this is working now is I can take, let's say I've got 11 cobblestone and I throw them all in here. You can watch them disappear out of there, and you can hear that thing tick. Thankfully it doesn't tick, 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 tick non-stop. You don't have to listen to it. Then we can watch and hear as the 11 filter back in. So, and there you go. That's all 11 of them. So now, like I said, I have this program so that we've got cobblestone going into there. Man, we're getting a lot of iron. This is awesome. But I'm probably going to go ahead and reprogram that thing. And then the only other thing that I'll have to do is just, you know, like I did in the last video, build these this sequence again over on the other side. I was going to actually do it for here too, but I guess I'm not going to. I guess this one won't be a sorting chest, because if it is, then I've got to tear out some of this and make some ugliness back over here that I really don't want to see. Or I guess, maybe not. Maybe I could just feed it down right over here. But I don't know. Maybe I'll play around with that. I don't know if I need to sort that much stuff. So anyway, yeah, so that's how we build a sorter, and that's kind of where we are now. So I guess I'm going to work on trying to hide some more of this, or I guess not some more of this, but work on hiding this, the way this thing looks out front now. Let's actually see how bad it is. I'm kind of a symmetrical kind of a guy, so yeah, I want to hide it in here. Actually, that won't be too bad because this will be a solid wall. But I'm kind of a symmetry guy, so I might... oof, that's ugly. All those holes are bad. But you know what? That's just going to give us some more interest on the front of this building. Instead of it being so flat, it'll have a little more detail in it. So yeah, okay, I'll play around with that a little bit, and we'll make this look pretty cool. Hide all this redstone and kind of see what we get. Alright guys, so I've made a little progress in here, just a bit. Anyway, I will show you what I've done in here, but I guess first of all, I've kind of cleaned up the entrance to this thing a little bit. I've hidden all the redstone back here. Man, I'm getting some bad lag spikes. I'm not really sure what it's coming from. It might be coming from the sorter, in which case I don't know how much I may use that thing, but I'm not sure I'm a big fan of how this sort of looks. I thought I was going to maybe like how that little kickout's going to look, but I'm thinking now I might just take this thing straight down and then bring it back in here a little bit, so it'll maybe look a little more interest and some symmetry on there, because I think those just look kind of funky. But anyway, without further ado, here's what I've done on the inside. I've gone ahead and just kind of brought this up. I've got kind of a more formalized entrance, but I'm not sure that I'm going to keep it wide like this. I think I'm going to end up with the same problem that I had in the mob spawner room over there. Oops, hang on, let me turn this down a little bit. I may end up with the same problem I had in the mob spawner room, and that is that I'm going to have way too much, too wide of a doorway to be able to really close it off. Too wide and too tall, and I'm going to be constantly concerned that mobs are going to be coming in here. So there we go. You know what? Actually, I'm going to pause out of here for a second and see if I can't. Maybe there's like a background process or something running here that's giving me such lag. So I will be back in just a moment. Okay, guys, sorry about that. I think I figured out what was going on. I think I had some virus definition stuff going on in the background, downloading a bunch of stuff. That kind of bogged me down. So anyway, it looks like I've got it sorted out for now. Hopefully I'm correct in that. So okay, here we are in the back of the downstairs here, and if I move up here, I'll show you kind of what I've done in the back. This room's really, I think, pretty much done. What I have done though is I've gone ahead, I've wired around the entire side now, so I have sorting set up for all these chests on the bottom. Not over here. It was just going to, I think, be too difficult to probably get that in there and still have this look remotely cool when I'm going downstairs, so I didn't bother with that. wonder if I'm sorting some stuff in here right now. No, it doesn't look like it. I do have these set up. I went ahead and left these for cobblestone. So the way I have it programmed right now, I haven't put in the signs yet, but as I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to collect cobblestone in here. I know that's such a resource I'm going to collect so much of. I'm going to go ahead and let that sort into there, because I think there's probably a good chance that that's going to happen. So I'm going to dedicate those 2 chests to that. Then the rest of these, I'm not really sure what I want to do with them yet as far as sorting. I have some ideas, but I'll share those with you in a minute. I want to go ahead and get back in here and kind of show you the ugly inner workings of it. So here you go. As you can tell, it's easy to tell which of these I have programmed because there's a pulse coming out of the comparators. Obviously this one hasn't been done yet, nor has the stuff on the other side. Just so you can see them. God, if I ever fall in there, I'm going to be really angry with myself. I should probably put something up here to keep me from doing that. Anyway, this is the little hopper chain that we built earlier to send everything up here and then into the system. The system then sends it over here, and if it doesn't find a home for it here, it will send it through. I've made a little tiny hopper chain. I actually needed to get this stuff up so I could move it over the room in there where we have all the sorting and the storage going. So you can't see it from here, which was by design. I've hidden it behind all this kind of bric-a-bracy stuff. But it comes out over on this side. It just kind of hides all back in there, sends things over here, and then repeats the process on this side. It appears... Oh, I have an item in there. I don't need those items in there. I was originally going to throw my cobblestone in here, but this is actually a good point. I'm kind of glad I'm glad I left this in there so I can share this with you guys. The one pseudo drawback, and it's not really a drawback, I guess, to this system is when you're trying to okay, why can't I open these comparators? I'm having a hard time. Okay, anyway, when you are trying to get this stuff all running and you want to test something, you kind of have to program your hoppers in order because, for example, and there we go, maybe I'm lagging worse than I thought I was. When I was over on the other side, I was trying to program the cobblestone to read into there, but when I would throw things in the chest, they were never showing up, and it took me about, I don't know, maybe a minute or two to figure out that what was happening was it was going through the system and it was coming to the first one that wasn't programmed, and because it wasn't programmed, it was seeing it as, hey, I can send these right down here. So it would send them down, and if I didn't have enough, they'd get stuck in here because it wasn't getting enough signal to send them on down and then into the chest. So if you do build the system in your own world, make sure that you program your hoppers in the proper order. Otherwise, you'll get stuff that'll be either stuck in here or it'll get stuck in your chests, and that's not good in either case. So anyway, a little bit more thought. I'll probably, again, I'll build some of the decorative crap on the outside of this. I'll go ahead and do that off camera, but I did want to share one thought that I had with you guys. Certainly not something that I will do in this episode, but it may have some impact as far as when I mentioned I had some ideas for what I want to sort. What I'm kind of starting to think is I liked this little floaty island that I have my nether portal on, but I kept looking over here from the house, or maybe when I was working on this project over here. Every time I would look over here, it kind of bothered me just kind of seeing that thing just kind of floating up there. And this island, I think, looked really cool until I had this bridge built and all this other good stuff. So because I've got such a wide bridge, I'm starting to think what I might do is I may actually build another structure here to house that nether portal up there and then build access to it from here. I was going to build maybe like an ender pearl elevator or something like that, and I still kind of want to build one of those down the road, but if that's the only way that I can get into this thing, it would kind of grind on me if in the next update they do something that disables that. I know there have been a few times that the updates have broken that, but it almost seemed like it was fate to me, because the nether portal that's right up there is maybe one block off from being centered over this bridge. So I think it would be pretty easy to build again, a little structure here. It might look kind of dramatic too if just from down there over on the other side, if I'm looking back and I've got kind of this, I don't know, maybe spirey looking thing here that houses my nether portal. So anyway, if I do that, then I would probably have a staircase or some sort of an elevator system that would take me down right around here-ish. Maybe that'd be something fun to do. Maybe I could do some sort of a piston elevator or something like that for you guys. We got a little candidate coming through the iron golem farm. Anyway, maybe I could do some kind of a piston elevator or something like that that would get me up and down from this thing. Not that they're any more reliable than an ender pearl elevator when updates come out, but it might be something fun to build. So anyway, let me think on that, but if I do that, then I need somewhere to put all my nether drops and things that I dig out of the nether. So I'm thinking that might be a good thing for me to sort in here. And then maybe downstairs in the bottom, let's wait for that guy to die. There we go. Maybe downstairs on the first floor here, I can build a potion brewing room or something like that. I've never really been a big potions guy, but I don't know, it might be kind of fun to do. I've seen some really neat stuff that Doc M have done, and actually Monkey Farm did a pretty cool, I think, kind of potions on demand thing where you could hit a button and get whatever potion it was that you wanted. I've got plenty of room behind this wall where I would have a lot of space, I think, to build some hidden redstone-y back end sort of stuff. So maybe I'll go ahead and do that. But yeah, I don't know, it's just maybe some food for thought. So I think in the meantime, I may actually need to make a trip down into my mine, because I'm actually running out of the materials to build more of this stuff. So yeah, anyway, I'll take a look at that. I'll take a look at how this is kind of set up and maybe build this out a little bit and try and make this look a little more interesting on the entryway. I'm not sure I'm a fan of the way these steps kind of come down here. I don't know. Maybe you guys, let me know what you think. I think it's interesting looking on one end. I think from here it looks kind of cool. From the side, I don't know, man. I'm kind of struggling with it. Part of me likes it, part of me doesn't like the way that looks. So, yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll keep it. Maybe I'll try and find some way to hide that. When I'm on the bridge, I certainly like the way it works and the way that it looks. I think functionally speaking, I like it a lot. But I don't know. We'll look at that a little bit. But so yeah, I'm going to go ahead and I guess build some of this back in. Maybe I'll try and build some over on the side, even though I don't really need it, just to add some more interest on the side here. That's kind of a flat surface. And I'm also thinking I may want to break up my materials. One of my cardinal sins that I told you guys I wasn't a big fan of is just using one material to build everything. And I think I've broken up the shapes by using steps and half slabs in here pretty well. And even some of these, you know, just the standard stone half slabs instead of the stone bricks, or the stone brick half slabs and steps and all that good stuff. And that one lonely little wool block there. But I don't know, I'm starting to feel like this might be too much of one material, so maybe when I'm building these down I'll try and maybe get some wood into this or something else to maybe make it a little more interesting. So anyway, just some food for thought. I thought I would share some progress with you. Let you know that I don't always like the first things that I build in here, because I am going to, like I said, I think I'm going to tear some of this stuff out and try and make this look a little bit more interesting. So I'm going to take a crack at that, and I will see you guys in just a couple. Okay guys, so here we go. I'm back in here now, and I definitely like that a lot more now that I've cleaned up these little kickouts. So let's see, just kind of a quick tour-ish thing for what I've done. I guess I'll pick up that dirt. I have glassed in all the windows now. I like how kind of open this is down here. Not sure that it'll stay that way, but it's got kind of a good feeling. I like the view from here too. So anyway, I think I've accomplished my goal of I can get obviously up that grand staircase to the house and over to either the mob spawner or up here, and then I can get in via here and pop right up these steps into the storage area here as well, and then take the same journey up and over this way back to the house. So that was really my primary goal with it. I guess at this point I need to figure out some kind of a door system for down below. Not really sure what I want to do for that. I might try and add some more interest maybe to the outside of this thing. I like I've obviously added in the wood in here. I do like the way it looks. I'm not sure I like how that feels off center, and it feels that way because I've got this dirt here where because I decided to kick that out one block extra on the side so that I could have the side of this thing look a little more interesting, like, well, you can't even see it really very well from this angle, like that, which I do like. The only downside to it is it added another block to it, and I really don't know that I feel like chopping out that hillside just so that I can make this look a little more symmetrically even, so I don't think I'm going to worry about it too much. I might try and do, I don't know, something extra. I've got these little cutouts in here that I had done before that really don't have much of a purpose now, so I might try and do something with those. Maybe I'll add some water to this thing or do something to make it a little more interesting looking. But I do like the direction that it's headed. I had to kind of figure out this foundation here for where this hillside kind of drops down. I didn't want to fill that in. I wanted to try and keep some of the landscape the way it was. I did fill in a little bit. I might fill in this little weird kind of cutout here a little bit. Actually, you know, I'm going to do that right now while I'm on with you guys. But yeah, so that's kind of where I'm headed. I'm going to hop off here now and think on the entrance to this and see if I can't come up with some good way of closing this off. And like I said, maybe when I come back in I might have this water placed in here as well. The more I think about that, the more I like it, because this area here where we kind of cut in, I don't know, it feels to me like it kind of needs something. So I might do that. That might just help dress this up a little more, and it'll play in well with the little fountain that I've built inside here as well. Now I just got to figure out what I'm going to build down here. So anyway, I'm going to go think on that, and I'll see you guys in just a couple. Okay guys, so here we go. That's I guess this is kind of where I've landed with this thing. I've done a couple of things, obviously. I think the most obvious is I've kind of dressed up the front of this. Like I mentioned before, I went ahead and dropped the water in here and made kind of these little fountain guys. I think they turned out pretty cool. Went ahead and planted some flowers here, put in some shrubby kind of things. Interesting, I didn't realize that you could actually till soil and plant flowers on it, so I kind of like the way those look, kind of like little flower bed looking things. Threw in some of these grasses as well as the glowstone. This block serves double duty. It lights me up upstairs as well as downstairs. Additionally, I added kind of this little slopey kind of a thing here. It kind of bothered me how abrupt this foundation was. So just kind of like the way that looks a little more. I think it kind of finishes it off. Wrestled a lot with making this into a door, but I really like how open this is. So I just went ahead, and since zombies are too stupid to knock down a fence gate, went ahead with the fence gate. That does mean I'm going to have to be a little careful if a skeleton happens to wander over here. I'm going to have to be careful of getting shot in the back, but I'm not too overly worried about that. I think there's going to be plenty of room inside of here to deal with that. Additionally, I cleaned up the lighting in here. Oh, I guess I threw the little flowers in here and the bushes inside as well, just to kind of tie the inside in a little better with the outside. So I really like the way this has kind of come together. I also cleaned up the lighting. This is completely mob spawning free. I have checked every block in here, and I am above level 7 lighting everywhere. So I think I should be in pretty good shape. Just need to figure out, like I mentioned before, what I'm going to throw in here. Coming up here, this room really didn't change very much. Obviously, here's where I threw. This is the glowstone that I mentioned below, that is kind of like, I don't know if you want to call it a porch light or what it would be called, but there you go, there it is. I did go ahead and I threw in some additional sorting stuff in here. I've got some quartz in here, basically just kind of some nether drops. So yeah, it's kind of coming together nice, guys. I think I'm going to go ahead, I checked the length on this, and this is getting kind of long, so I think I'm going to go ahead and call this a video at this point, and I'm going to I guess I'm going to call it a video. So I will catch you guys next time. Please like this if you liked it, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you again next time.